Welcome everyone to the University of St. Francis for game number 3 of our series here at Cougar Field against Mount Vernon Nazarene University out of Mount Vernon, Ohio. Yesterday it was the Cougars from Ohio winning game 1 9-5 and then game number 2 10-0 in 7 innings. Today's game is scheduled for 9 innings. Once again, this is game number 3. St. Francis enters today's tilt with a 7-23-1 record overall, 2-5 in Crossroads League play, which currently has the St. Francis Cougars in 9th place, 1 spot ahead of Bethel, who is 0-5. Mount Vernon Nazarene with the sweep yesterday improved to 3-1 in conference play. They are 17-9 overall with a 3-game win streak. They are currently tied for second place with Indiana Wesleyan, who has a 3-1 record. Taylor University is 4-0 in conference play and has a 15-10 overall record. Their 15-10 overall record is second best to Mount Vernon Naz 17-9 overall record. My name is Jeff Mahoney, bringing you the play-by-play for today's game, and joining me in the booth is Alex Woods for the second straight day here of covering Cougar baseball. Let's take a look at today's starting lineups. To start for Mount Vernon Naz, it will be number 11 leading off. That's Corey Gould, the left fielder. Batting second is number 3, Christian Bacon, center fielder. Christian did not get the start in game 1, but did get the start in game 2 yesterday. Number 7, Aaron Saul, the third baseman. Saul had a 2-run home run to start off game number 2 yesterday, a big shot over the left center field fence. Number 18, Jaime Montero, the second baseman, played a great game yesterday at second base defensively. Number 22, Jesse Stout, the right fielder. Number 24, Drew Ritchie, the catcher. He caught both games yesterday and will catch again today. Number 12, Axel Carreras, the DH. Carreras pinch ran in game number 1 for Kreider and then got the start in game number 2. For Kiner, Trevor Kiner. Number 17, the third baseman, batting in the 8th spot. First baseman, Kobe Miller. And then number 13, Brant Miller, the shortstop, batting in the 9 hole. Pitching for St. Francis today is number 10, Chandler Rivera. Rivera with a 4.01 ERA and a 2-2 record on the season. He has started 6 games and has 1 complete game under his belt. In 33.2 innings pitched, he's given up 18 runs, 15 of those earned, on 37 hits. He has 19 walks and 19 strikeouts on the season. Opposing batters are hitting .296 against Rivera, and he has hit 5 batters entering today's game. His 5 hit batters are second most for the Cougars, behind Dane Hoffman's 11. Looking at the St. Francis starting lineup, we will start with number 9, the junior Cole Gerardo, to play second base. Cole started third base in game number 2 for Coach Greg Roberts, and getting the start at second base was Brady Harris, the freshman. Brady out of Muncie, Indiana, Cohen High School. Batting in the number 2 hole is number 25, Tanner Gaff, the DH. Number 21, Keaton Sullivan, will play third base. Number 33, Noah Frymuth, will play left field. Number 16, Kansas Varner, gets the start in center field. Number 0, David Snyder at shortstop. Dakota Burke will bat in the 7 hole, playing right field. Number 5, Jordan Dickinson, to start at first base. And batting in the 9 hole is number 2, Austin Mannon, the catcher for Coach Greg Roberts. As Coach Roberts and Coach Veal, Keith Veal, in his 28th season at Mount Vernon Nazarene, head back to their respective dugouts as we get ready to start off today's game. Once again, game 3 of this series here at Cougar Field. Looking at some of the results from around the Crossroads League yesterday. Once again, Mount Vernon getting the sweep over St. Francis. At Grace, it was Grace winning at 3-2 against Indiana Wesleyan, then dropping game number 2, 14-2. At Bethel, Taylor won it 14-8 and 11-1. At Marion, the Knights winning game number 1 13-9 and game number 2 7-6 over Goshen. At Huntington, it was the Foresters winning game number 1 10-6 over Spring Arbor and losing game number 2 10-9. This past Wednesday at Goshen, it was the Maple Leafs beating Calumet College of St. Joseph's 10-4 and then tying game number 1 4-4. So for Goshen College, that was their first tie of the season as they have a 14-11 and 1 overall record, and they are 4-3 in Crossroads League play. This past Tuesday, it was the home opener for St. Francis, and it was the Cougars getting the sweep over Grace College 5-1 and 4-3. Grace College currently with a 2-3 record in conference play. They are 10-11-1 overall and have currently lost 1 game in their streak. Looking at the game day media program put together by Sports Information Director Bill Scott. He talks about how today was supposed to be the doubleheader day, but we are expecting rain here shortly. Hopefully it won't be too hard of a rainfall. It looked like 4 o'clock was when the majority of the rain was supposed to come. We're at 40% right now, and we have a little tarp over us here in our perch out in right center field, so hopefully we'll be okay to bring you this whole game. So in this article that was written for yesterday's game, it says Mount Vernon Nazarene, the next Crossroads League challenge for the University of St. Francis this weekend with a high chance of rain on Saturday. Friday's schedule has been changed to a doubleheader. Game 1, 7 innings. Game 2, 9 innings, unless Game 1 goes into extra innings. The USF Cougars entered play Friday coming off a sweep of Grace College on Tuesday, 5-1 and 4-3. Mount Vernon Nazarene, they're tied for 4th with a 1-1 conference record after splitting its Crossroads League opening doubleheader at Huntington on Tuesday. MVNU lost 6-0 and won 7-5 at Huntington. Once again, this was written before yesterday's game. Yanni Patton is the leading hitter on MVNU's roster and is 4th in the Crossroads League with a .436 batting average. Noah Frymuth leads USF with a .360 average, 14th in the Crossroads League. In Crossroads League only games, Tanner Gaff is tied for 7th, batting .500. He's 7 for 14. Frymuth is 17th at .412, 7 of 17, and Kansas Varner is 19 at .389, going 7 for 18. MVNU's Drew Ritchie went 3 for 6 against Huntington and is tied for 7th in Crossroads League only game in batting average. Of course, Ritchie is the catcher for MVNU and did an outstanding job behind the plate yesterday. In that first game, we did get to see Trenton Wood, who's one of the top pitchers in the Crossroads League. A lot of balls in the dirt there, and Ritchie came up large. Folks, we're going to take a break here for the national anthem, and the opening prayer is, that was pretty quick. So getting ready to start off game number 3. This is our 3rd broadcast of the year for Cougar baseball. Always exciting to get back into spring mode, as the first day of spring was this past Monday. Let's take a look at some of the Crossroads League leaders. Bethel is the number 1 batting team in the conference, hitting .347. Mount Vernon Naz batting .328. Taylor University .315. Goshen at .299, and Indiana Wesleyan at .296. Your top 5. Bethel leads the conference in runs batted in, averaging 7.7. Taylor's at 7.3. Mount Vernon Naz at 6.5. Goshen at 5.5, and Wesleyan at 5.4. Earned run average, Mount Vernon Naz is number 1 in the conference by a long shot. Mount Vernon Naz enters with a 3.16 team ERA. The next closest team is Indiana Wesleyan at 4.84. So a huge difference of about 1.7 there between the first place Mount Vernon Naz and second place Indiana Wesleyan in team ERA. Marion's at third at 5.21. Bethel at 4 with a 5.23. And Huntington comes in at number 5 with a 5.24 ERA. Now looking at team fielding percentage, Marion's number 1 at .6965. Spring Arbor, Wesleyan, Mount Vernon Nazarene, and Grace. So that's pretty interesting there, as Bethel ranks number 1 in the Crossroads League team batting, and they rank number 4 in team earned run average, yet Bethel enters today with a 9-6 overall record and 0-5 in the Crossroads League. Now granted, yesterday they were taking on Taylor. Today they're taking on Taylor. Yesterday they lost to Taylor in 2 straight games, but they are 0-5 on the season. That's Bethel with an outstanding pitching staff and a good hitting squad, but you don't see them anywhere in fielding percentage, so it makes you wonder if they're racking up some errors there in Mishawaka. Taking a look here at Bethel's schedule. Their first game of conference play was at home against Grace, and they lost 12-2. Then they went to Indiana Wesleyan and lost 1-3 and 3-4. And then, of course, the 8-14 and 1-11 loss against Taylor. Well, leading it off here will be Corey Gould for Mount Vernon Naz as we get ready to start game number 3 of this series. Once again, it's Chandler Rivera on the bump. He stands 6'1", 185. He is a junior for Coach Roberts, as that first pitch is drilled into center field, where Noah Frymuth, is playing center field here for the Cougars. I'm not sure if I got the correct starting lineup here for St. Francis, because we got Noah Frymuth in center field. It looks like Jack Harris is in left field, and in right field is number 18, Dakota Burke. Leadoff single here by Corey Gould on the first pitch. That brings up Christian Bacon. Bacon, the center fielder. First pitch from Rivera, low and inside for ball 1. Aaron Saul, the third baseman, on deck. Sports Information Director Bill Scott keeping the stats for today's game and doing the PA announcing while shooting photos as well from the press box. Second pitch, as the bunt is pulled back, that grooves in for a strike. This counts evened up at 1 apiece with a runner at first. Bacon enters the box. A lot of national rankings come with Mount Vernon Naz, as that one is fouled off for strike 2. So 1-2 is your count to Bacon here in the top half of the first inning. Mount Vernon Naz ranks number 3 in the country in doubles per game, averaging 2.6. The 1-2 pitch here with 0 outs from Rivera. Bunt's pulled back, but off and running with the stolen base is Gould. So Gould will advance to second. Corey Gould, who enters today with a .265 batting average. That's his third stolen base on the season. Bacon with a .342 batting average, has 13 hits, 16 runs scored, and 38 ABs with 9 RBI, 0 home runs on the season. For Christian Bacon, 1-2. It's fouled out of play. Looks like the scoreboard's got a 2-2 count. We don't have the best angle to see the scoreboard here in right field, and obviously we're not able to hear what the umpire says behind the plate. We're about 350 feet from home plate. Good thing our camera can zoom in. Runner at second, 2-2 count, 0 outs to Christian Bacon. Rivera delivers, swing and a miss. So Chandler Rivera gets his first strikeout of the game. That's out number 1. That'll bring to the plate Aaron Saul, the right fielder. Saul enters today with a .400 batting average, 36 hits, 29 runs scored, and 90 ABs. He has 26 RBI and 2 home runs. One of those came yesterday in game number 2. First pitch to Saul is in there for strike 1. Saul has 10 walks and just 7 strikeouts on the season with 3 stolen bases. Second straight called strike there. 0-2's your count with 1 out. Once again at second base is number 11, Corey Gould. Opened this game off with a single on the first pitch. Gould with a nice lead at second. Snyder playing shortstop will not hold him there. We got Cole Girardo at second base, Keaton Sullivan at third, and Jordan Dickinson. As that ball is ripped right down the line, they're going to wave home. Gould coming up with it is Harris, cut off by Snyder. So an RBI single to start this game for Aaron Saul. That scores Gould. So with 1 out, runner at first, your batter is Jaime Montero. MVNU. 1 out. Runner at first. First pitch to Jaime Montero is fouled off as the hit and run was on. Montero, Crossroads League honorable mention a year ago, comes in with a .406 batting average, 26 hits, 13 runs scored, and 64 ABs. He has 14 RBI, 0 home runs, 13 walks, just 8 strikeouts, and 0 stolen bases for Jaime Montero. As Rivera is going to step off the rubber. Frymuth was slated to be in left field, now in center. Kansas Varner not in the lineup as that pickoff attempt's going to get past Dickinson all the way to third base. Is Aaron Saul. So not a good start to this game for University of St. Francis. Down 1-0. Oh, 1 is your count to Jaime Montero. Again, his brother Ephraim Montero is all Crossroads League. Really good player for Mount Vernon Naz, who graduated last year. Swung on and fouled out of play. Montero down in this count 0-2. Not as warm or sunny as it was yesterday, but less windy as the wind is blowing in, pushing from left to right on your screen. Upstairs for ball 1. 1-2 now the count. Saul on third. Jack Harris, the freshman, had a good game starting game number 2 yesterday. Did not play in game number 1. He's a freshman from Fort Wayne, Indiana, Bishop Dwenger High School. That's the same high school as center fielder Noah Frymuth. So we got the Bishop Dwenger connection out here in the outfield, along with number 18, Dakota Burke, who's from Coldwater, Michigan. Upstairs, now full count for Jaime Montero after he was down in the count 0-2. Montero's 14 RBI. That's about 5th best on the team. MVNU's got some real sluggers. But this year, it's their pitching staff that's shining. Number 1 pitching staff in the Crossroads League. Full count, 1 out. Saul standing on third. Rivera in the dirt. So Jaime Montero, after being down 0-2, battles for the walk. That brings up Jesse Stout, the right fielder. Stout, a .289 batting average, has 22 hits, 24 runs scored, and 76 ABs. 11 doubles, which is second best on the team behind Aaron Saul. He's got 2 home runs and 20 RBIs, 3 walks and 7 strikeouts, 0 stolen bases on the season for Jesse Stout. First pitch from Rivera to Stout in the dirt. Good job by Manning blocking that ball. 1-0 your count. Frymuth started in left field in game number 1 yesterday and got the start at first base in game number 2. Keaton Sullivan caught in game number 2 and started game number 1 at third base. This infield is the same infield that started game number 1 yesterday. The outfield is totally different. Frymuth got the start at left, but it was Trey Snow in center and Kansas Varner in right. Varner not getting the start here in game number 1. 2 balls, 0 strikes, run out. Runner is off as they had the hit and run on. That's going to get past Keaton Sullivan. Saul will come home to score on the RBI single by Jesse Stout. Montero to second. Saul, that's the second run of the game for MVNU. 1 out for your batter, Drew Ritchie, the catcher. Ritchie enters today with a .293 batting average, 17 hits, 16 runs scored, and 58 ABs. 13 RBI on the season, 9 walks, 11 strikeouts. He has 0 home runs, and he has 0 stolen bases. First pitch by Rivera in the dirt. Manning blocks that one. 1-0 is your count with runners at first and second. Second pitch coming up here to Ritchie. Once again at second base is Montero. At first base is Jesse Stout. That pitch catches the outside corner for strike number 1. Counts evened up at 1 apiece. We will get to see Bryce Arledge, who was Crossroads League honorable mention last year. He's going to pitch here in game number 3 of this series. Rivera. This ball's drilled into left field. Harris is back and got it. Runners will stay at first and second. Nice play by the freshman left fielder, Jack Harris, who was on that ball from the get-go. That's out number 2. That'll bring up Axel Carreras. 2 gone, runners at first and second. If the Cougars can escape this inning with just giving up 2 runs, I do believe that would be a plus for Coach Roberts. Your batter Carreras is the DH in this game. Axel comes in with a .250 batting average. Ball in the dirt, that's going to get past Manning. Runners will advance on the wild pitch. Montero to third and Stout to second. 2 outs, runners in scoring position for Carreras, who's up in this count 0-1. Axel has 7 hits, 5 runs scored, and just 28 ABs for MVNU. Coach Veal using this opportunity here to get him some more experience, as we got a 1-1 count. Carreras, just a sophomore, standing 6'2", 185 from Puerto Rico. So another one of the pipeline players for Coach Veal to come from Puerto Rico. Not a bad spot to look for ball players. as Carreras is up in this count 2-1. Two outs. 2-1 pitch to Carreras. Beautiful looking pitch on the outside corner for strike number 2. Rivera has one strikeout here in the inning. The other out came when Drew Ritchie drilled the ball to Jack Harris out in left field. 2-2 pitch, breaking ball, drilled right at Jordan Dickinson for out number 3. Mount Vernon Naz gets 2 runs on 3 hits. Two runners stranded, 0 errors in the inning. As we head to the bottom of the first, Mount Vernon Naz leads it 2-0. So here in the bottom half of the first, it'll be Cole Girardo, Tanner Gaff, and Keaton Sullivan. MVNU's first run here. This came on the RBI single by Aaron Saul. Saul just drilling that ball, got through the infield, picked up by Harris. That was the first run of the game. And actually, I just showed you the first run, or the second run, I should say. Either way, Cole Girardo's at the plate, second baseman. First pitch to Girardo is a swing and a miss. Second pitch is a ball. Counts evened up at 1 apiece. Pitching is Bryce Arledge, 2.63 ERA. Has a 5-2 record and 2 complete games on the season for the lefty. That pitch inside and low for ball 2. He's a big lefty, listed at 6'3", 230, the senior. Arledge, in 41 innings pitched, has given up 19 runs, 12 of those earned, and 38 hits. He has 33 strikeouts, which leads MVNU, just 11 walks, and opposing hitters are batting .244 against him. Big swing and a miss. We got a full count now to Cole Girardo. Girardo played well yesterday for the Cougars. Went 0 for 3 in game number 2 and went 3 for 4 in game number 1. Gets him looking for out number 1. That'll bring to the plate Tanner Gaff. So once again, Arledge, who comes in with 33 strikeouts. The next closest MVNU player is Clint Connor, who started game number 2 yesterday. He has 27 strikeouts. Your batter, that is Tanner Gaff. Second pitch, popped into shallow center. Brant Miller underneath it for out number 2. Shallow left field, excuse me. Kind of weird to call the game from the outfield when everything's reversed. Your batter is Keaton Sullivan. Keaton enters today with a .277 batting average, 31 hits, 20 runs scored, and 112 ABs, 24 RBI, and 5 home runs. His 5 home runs are more than anybody else playing in this game. Drills this ball to center. Bacon underneath it for out number 3. 3 up, 3 down for the Cougs as we head to the top of the second. St. Francis, 0 hits on 0 runs, 0 errors, and 0 left on base. In the top of the second, it'll be Kobe Miller, Brant Miller, and then the top of the order. MVNU with 3 hits and 2 runs so far in this game. 2 runners were left on base. Looking at the batters struck out per game, Tanner Wise from Huntington, he tops the Crossroads League, striking out 10.8 batters per game. Josh King from Bethel at 9.8. Jared Laurent from Bethel at 9.5. Austin Swift from Indiana Wesleyan at 9.3. And Brody Harris from Spring Arbor at 8.7. Those are your strikeout leaders per game in the Crossroads League. Thought that I might see Arledge on that list, but he's not in the top 5. Bryce Arledge also is at the top of the MVNU batting. He's hitting 1,000 after getting 1 hit in his 1 AB. Info. Once again, it's Chandler Rivera on the bump for St. Francis. And he will face Kobe Miller. Kobe in game number 2 yesterday had 1 hit and an RBI. He was 1 for 3. In game number 1, he was 2 for 3.
Leading off the top of the second inning for Mount Vernon Nazarene, first baseman number 17, Kobe Miller.
So Kobe Miller, the freshman. Brant Miller is a sophomore. Both are from Millersburg, Ohio. The town's named after him. First pitch to the lefty from Rivera. Off-speed pitch, misses outside for ball 1. Second pitch coming up from the righty. Swung on and popped up. Chasing after it is Keaton Sullivan, but it's out of play. This count will be evened up at 1 apiece. Warming up in the bullpen for St. Francis is number 19, Alex Bratmiller, 6'3", 207 pounds. He's a freshman from Homestead High School. Pitches in there for a strike. 1-2 is your count. He's a big guy over there on that mound warming up. Pitch ripped right at Gerardo and eats him up. We got an E4 there as Kobe Miller is going to lead off the inning, getting on base. First error of the game for either team. As your batter now is Brant Miller. Brant Miller is batting .325, just 1 spot ahead of his brother Kobe Miller at .316. Brant has 25 hits and 18 runs scored in 77 ABs. He's got 20 RBI and 1 home run, 9 walks, 6 strikeouts, 0 stolen bases. Bunt is down, pulls back for ball 1. Looking at Kobe Miller, he's got 0 stolen bases on the season as well. Out of the stretch is Rivera. Second flash bunt, and he is safe. 2-0 the count. Big day here in Fort Wayne, Indiana, as the Northside Legends will take on Ben Davis, the Giants, in the Class 4A state championship game tonight, scheduled to tip off at 8:15. Looking to bring home the 5th state championship for a Fort Wayne Community School team. Mannon's throw to David Snyder, incomplete. Getting the stolen base was number 17, Kobe Miller. Reach base on an error and reaches second, getting the steal. We got a conference going to be called there on the mound by Coach Roberts. We got 0 outs here in the top of the second with a runner in scoring position. That runner is Kobe Miller, his brother Brant Miller at the plate. I did not get confirmation as to whether they truly are brothers. But once again, both are from Millersburg, Ohio. Both went to Highland High School. Got a feeling that the Miller family has spent generations in that city or town. Like 2 balls, 1 strike is your count. Rivera with Miller at second. That ball, Mannon's able to keep it in front of him. 3-1 count. Rivera, 3-1's the count with 0 outs. Miller rips this ball at Snyder. Snyder's going to keep Kobe Miller at second, gets Brant out at first. Good play by the sophomore shortstop for out number 1. That'll bring to the plate Corey Gould. He singled, stole a base, and scored a run in his first trip to the plate. 1 out. It's Kobe Miller at second base. Gould entering today with a .265 batting average. Takes that first pitch upstairs for ball 1. Gould has 3 stolen bases on the season, which ties him for a team high. There's 3 other players besides him with 3 stolen bases for MVNU. Pitch just catches the outside corner. We're evened up at 1 apiece. Gould in game number 2 yesterday was 0 for 5 as Mount Vernon Naz poured in 10 runs. In game number 1, he was 0 for 4. Another nice play there by the shortstop. Back-to-back assists for Snyder as we got 2 gone. For the batter, Christian Bacon. Bacon struck out in his first AB. Yesterday, he had a double and scored a run to start off the game. He ended up 2 for 5 in that game number 1. A lot of ABs for the MVNU Cougars in game number 2 yesterday. First pitch to Bacon's low in the dirt. Kobe Miller now at third base. with 2 outs. Bacon up in this count 1-0 with 2 outs. Another one in the dirt, blocked by Mannon. Two O's your count. Mannon. He and Rivera are strategizing here with 2 outs and a runner on third. A little bit more chilly today than it was yesterday, that's for sure. A lot of that has to do with the sun not being out. Rivera. Off-speed pitch misses low and inside. 3-0's your count. .30 pitch upstairs for a strike. That's a good-looking pitch to hit right there. Taken all the way was Bacon. Another one right down the pipe. Full count now with 2 outs. Kobe Miller at third. Kobe scored a run in game number 1 yesterday. Looking for his second run of the series. Taking first base is Bacon on the walk. So runners at first and third with 2 outs. For your batter, Aaron Saul. Runners at the corners here in the top of the second. Rivera. First pitch to Saul upstairs. Mannon thought about going to first base with it. We'll see if MVNU attempts the double steal here. 1-0 is your count with runners at the corners. That one's fouled off against the fence, 1-1. Rivera upstairs. 2-1. 2 outs. Up next for St. Francis, we will travel to Siena Heights on Tuesday for a doubleheader before coming back home on Wednesday to host Grace College. Swing and a miss. As Mannon's going to let him take second base. Bacon with the steal. Counts evened up at 2 apiece. Big lead here at second base by Bacon. Infield playing deep. Swung on into shallow right field. Dakota Burke chasing in, but that's Cole Gerardo with out number 3. In that inning, 0 runs on 0 hits, 0 errors, and 2 left on base as we head to the bottom of the second. Cougar is going to bring to the plate Frymuth. And actually, I had Kansas Varner there in the 5 spot. So we'll see who ends up coming up after Frymuth. I do have Dakota Burke in right field batting in the 7 hole. We'll see if Jack Harris is over there in the 5 spot. Is Frymuth. You see him there right in front of the press box warming up. The press shed, I should say. No, that's Jack Harris, and then there's Frymuth. So it looks like the number 2 bat or the number 5 hole batter is going to be number 12, Jack Harris, the freshman. Harris enters today with a 182 batting average, just 6 hits and 6 runs scored in 33 ABs. Keaton Sullivan leads the team with 112 at bats. Yesterday, Jack Harris was 1 for 2 in game number 2. First pitch is fouled off for a strike. Second pitch to Frymuth, drilled right at Miller. Brant Miller fires to Kobe for out number 1. That'll bring up number 12, Jack Harris.
Now batting your left fielder, Jack Harris.
So Jack Harris, Kansas Varner was scheduled to start in the spot. Jack Harris replaces him right before game time as the first pitch is fouled off for a strike. Kansas, the right fielder yesterday, was 0 for 3 in game number 2. In game number 1, he did have a single and a run scored. He was 1 for 3 in game number 1. Second pitch drilled down the left field line into the Cougar bullpen. 0-2 the count. This one's hit into shallow right field. Jaime Montero with the catch for out number 2. That'll bring up shortstop number 0, David Snyder.
Batting your Cougar shortstop, David Snyder.
Snyder in game number 1 yesterday was 0 for 1. In game number 2, he was 2 for 3. His first pitch is swung on and fouled off for strike 1. Two gone here in the bottom of the second. That ball is hit into the Cougar bullpen. Nice snag by number 13, Tony Bova. 6 foot, 175-pound infielder, sophomore from Anderson, Indiana's Bova. That was a great barehanded snag. That one's fouled out of play. 0-2 the count. Some of the Fort Wayne folks were getting out golfing yesterday. I'm sure some are going out golfing today. Not me. I'm watching Cougar baseball on both sides. 1-2. Ball hit right at Brant Miller. Easy play for the sophomore shortstop. Route number 3. We'll head to the top of the third inning. MVNU leads it 2-0. Montero, Stout, and Ritchie coming up to the plate. This one here was the first run of the game for MVNU. It was the saw hit into left field. That was picked up by Harris. Coming home to score on that play was Corey Gould. Not always easy tracking the ball out here in right center field. We are perched up about 12 feet. Probably about 6 feet over the top of the outfield fence. Cougar football is going to start up next week. First padded practice is on the 31st.
Friday, correct?
Yep.
Yep.
This coming Friday. So I think we'll be in shoulder pads and helmets for that first one.
More than likely, yeah. I'd say Saturday as well. But we're doing an hour of lifting Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then the other hour we're on the field prepping, getting the game plans in. Yeah.
Doing some install and doing some lifting during the week. So the guys been waking up early this winter for winter weights, haven't you?
5:30.
Yeah, 5:30 a.m. It's kind of cold at that time, isn't it?
Yeah, it's about 12 degrees wind chill.
Yeah, this Monday it was 12-degree wind chill. So Jaime Montero, who walked in his first AB at the plate, takes that first pitch for a ball.
Betting for Mount Vernon Nazarene, Montero.
Of course, the Cougars coming off the 2016 National Championship win over Baker. Alex, a huge part of that win. Alex is on the camera right now for you. Starting left tackle for the Cougs. 1-1 is your count to Jaime Montero. Breaking ball. It's going to miss low and inside. 2-1's count. A lot of big gains being made in the weight room this year by the Cougar football players under the direction of offensive line coach Trevor Miller. We like to think that Trevor Miller is the best offensive line coach in the country and best strength and conditioning coach in the country. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, 100%, no doubt.
Yep, Alex agrees with me. So a swing and a miss for Jaime Montero. That's the second strikeout of the game for Chandler Rivera. That'll bring to the plate number 22, Jesse Stout, right fielder. He had an RBI single back in the first inning. Reached second base on a wild pitch. First pitch is going to get past Manning for ball one. As Noah Frymuth says, the top of their lineup, they're all pole guys. As that pitch is going to hit Stout. That's the sixth hit batter on the season for Rivera.
Now batting the catcher, Drew Ritchie.
Brings the plate, catcher Drew Ritchie. As you heard Bill Scott just say, our sports information director. First pitch is a ball. Ball one to Ritchie. He flew out to left field to the freshman Jack Harris in his first AB. Runner's off. Hit and run was on. That's going to fall into right center field. Making his way all the way to third is Stout on the single by Drew Ritchie. Nice piece of hitting there by Ritchie with the hit and run on. Little duck snort into right center field. A lazy line drive. That's going to bring up
Ritchie at first base for Nick Moser. Batting number 12, designated hitter, Carreras.
So pinch running, the courtesy runner for Ritchie is going to be Mosier, Nick Mosier, and that's a rule the NAIA uses so that the catchers can, get their gear on, kind of speed the game up a little bit. I like that rule, especially now that we're playing 9-inning regular season games. This is the first year we've been playing 9-inning regular season games. Runners at the corners. First pitch is a swing and a miss by Axel. He popped out to first baseman Jordan Dickinson in his first AB. Only one out here in the top of the third. Runner is off. Manning looked to go back to third, so that's another stolen base. This time by Mosier. Runners at second and third. 0-2 is your count to Carreras. Frymuth really communicating with the outfielders out here. Once again, Noah Frymuth is a freshman center fielder. So too is Jack Harris. Dakota Burke is a junior out in right field. Frymuth even telling Austin Mannon where that ball was all the way out here from center field. 1-2 your count. Noah Frymuth here is going to be a building block for Coach Roberts for the next 3 years. Try to build around the big righty. He's an everyday player for you, but he can also pitch. Got the save in that win against Grace College. Another ball in the dirt. Counts evened up at 2 apiece. Frymuth has pitched 31 innings, which is third best for St. Francis. Keaton Sullivan can also pitch for the Cougs. 2-2. Fouled off. Runners at second and third. Ball in the dirt. Manning able to keep it in front of him. Full count now to Axel. This is the third full count for Chandler Rivera in this game. On the top of the third inning. That ball is drilled right at David Snyder. Snyder goes to first with it for out number 2. Coming home to score on the play was Jesse Stout on the sacrifice for run number 3. At third base now is Mosier. Brings to the plate Kobe Miller, who reached on an E4 back in the second. Kobe Miller stands 5'10", weighs 175 pounds, does the lefty. Up in this count 1-0. This ball's drilled right at Dakota Burke, right at the fence. Burke cannot make the grab, and that was in fair territory. Went right off his glove. That will be a triple for Kobe Miller. I hate to say it, but you got to call an E9 there as that ball hit right off his glove. Run number 4 for MVNU. Brings up Brant Miller. It was a good play by the right fielder getting to that ball. Right on the warning track. We're about 6 feet in front of the fence. Never an easy play when the fence is involved. First pitch is a ball to Brant Miller, who grounded out to Snyder in his first AB. Big swing and a miss. Counts evened up at 1 apiece. Pitch inside for ball 2. 2-1 the count. On third base is Kobe Miller. Mosier coming home to score the 4th run of the game for MVNU. Rivera delivers. On this low outside, 3-1 your count. Three-one pitch. Slow roller, foul. Full count. Chandler Rivera trying to keep that runner at third. Gets him looking for out number 3. For Rivera, that's the third strikeout of the game. We got Burke, Dickinson, and Matting coming up for your Cougs here in the bottom of the third.
Looks like he wants to come film.
Yeah. Say hi.
So right fielder Dakota Burke to lead it off for St. Francis. Burke enters today with a .278 batting average, 20 hits, 9 runs scored, and 72 ABs. That first pitch is inside and low for ball number 1. Second pitch drill. Bacon's on it for out number 1. That'll bring to the plate Jordan Dickinson. Dickinson with a .250 batting average has 25 hits and 20 runs scored and 100 ABs, 11 RBI, 1 home run, 14 walks, 27 strikeouts. His 27 Ks lead St. Francis. First pitch low in the zone for ball 1. Second pitch, ball 2. What was that? Cougars still looking to reach base for the first time in this game. This is the 8th hitter to come to the plate for St. Francis here in the bottom of the third as Dickinson takes the strike. 2-1 your count. Austin Manning, the catcher, on deck. I feel like for Coach Roberts, this is probably one of his better hitting lineups he can put out there. Probably like to see Kansas Varner in the lineup as well. When you talk about some of the top hitters on the team, Varner is a senior. So Dickinson will take first base. He's the first Cougar to reach the base paths. That brings up Manning. Manning, who was All Crossroads League honorable mention last year, enters with a .237 batting average, 14 hits, 7 runs scored, and 59 ABs. 2 home runs on the season, 6 RBI, 5 walks, 8 strikeouts, and he's got a stolen base. That first pitch is a ball to Manning. Second pitch drilled into center field. Bacon retreating about 8 feet in front of the warning track, makes the snag for out number 2. That's the second putout of the inning for Christian Bacon, center fielder. Brings up the leadoff batter, Cole Gerardo. His team down 4-0 here in the bottom of the third.
Cole Gerardo.
Gerardo's got that little leg kick there to start his swing. So he takes that first pitch for a strike. I don't know who that really reminds me of at the plate. No 2's your count to Cole Gerardo. Gerardo struck out looking back in the first inning. Still warming up for St. Francis is Alex Bratmiller. This ball hit right at Brant Miller. Easy play getting the force out of Jordan Dickinson. Flips it over to Jaime Montero for out number 3. That'll bring to the plate here in the top of the 4th. Leadoff batter, Corey Gould. And the rest of the MVNU Cougars.
New pitcher for the University of St. Francis is Alex Bratmiller, number 19.
So Alex Bratmiller enters the game here in the 4th inning.
Chandler Rivera. Rivera went the first 3 innings, gave up 4 runs on 5 hits.
So Rivera gave up 4 runs on 5 hits and 3 innings pitched. Let's check out Bratmiller's stats. Alex Bratmiller has a 1.0 ERA. He has started 2 games, pitched in 3. He has 9 innings under his belt. He's given up 1 earned run, 6 hits, 10 strikeouts, 10 walks. Opposing hitters are batting .214 against Alex Bratmiller. So, boy, it would be nice to get Alex going. He's a big arm, the big righty for St. Francis. Once again, Bratmiller listed at 6'3", 207. Corey Gould singled, stole a base, and scored a run back in the first inning. Swings at the first pitch, pops up out of play. Strike 1.
Batting for Mount Vernon Nazarene, Gould.
Gould 1 for 2 in this game. Grounded out to shortstop David Snyder in his second AB. Outfield playing normal distance as this ball is hit into right, or left center, excuse me. Frymuth, diving attempt, cannot make the grab. Going into second base will be Corey Gould with the leadoff double. That ball was just drifting there on Frymuth. Nearly made the grab. That's going to bring to the plate Christian Bacon. That was a good double there by Corey Gould as Jasal Frymuth nearly made that grab. Little conference on the bump. Bratmiller gives up a double to the first batter he faces in this game. Bacon struck out in his first AB, drew a walk in the second inning. He's 0 for 1. That pitch misses low and inside. Ball 1. Bacon had 2 putouts there in the bottom of the third. Takes that pitch for a strike. Mason started in center field in game number 1 yesterday. Oh, excuse me, Mosier did. Another one fouled off. 1-2's your count. Brett Miller. Count remains at 1-2. Seventh pitch for Brett Miller in this game. Ball misses low. Counts evened up at 2 apiece. Two-two with a man on second. Breaking ball ripped into left field. Harris has it. He'll hit the cutoff man Sullivan, which keeps Bacon at first. So a double followed up by a single has runners at the corners, 0 outs for Aaron Saul. Saul had an RBI single and scored a run back in the first. Popped out to second baseman Cole Gerardo back in the second. Brett Miller, the big righty, out of the stretch. First pitch is fouled off. 0-1's your count with runners at the corner. Second one's fouled off. Brett Miller's up in this count 0-2. O2 pitch, runners at the corners, 0 outs. Ball swung on, popped up sky high. Keaton Sullivan at the fence makes the snag for out. Number 1, not an easy play there for Keaton Sullivan. His freshman year started at shortstop. That'll bring to the plate Jaime Montero, second baseman. Walked back in the first inning, struck out back in the third. Runners off as the hit and run was on. Foul ball. Bacon at first base, Gould at third. Noah Frymuth was also a part of the state championship football team at Bishop Dwenger High School during their 2015 season. He was a big hitter. I believe he was a safety on that team. Bishop Dwenger getting their third state championship in school program's history. Quick throw. That gets away from Dickinson. Not far enough, though, but coming home to score, it's going to be Corey Gould. Staying at first base will be Christian Bacon on the wild pitch. Five nothing MVNU. Shouldn't say wild pitch, but on the pickoff attempt. Bacon's off. Harris makes the catch out in left field. Solid ball player is the freshman Jack Harris for sure. Making that play look easy. 2 gone for your batter, Jesse Stout. Jesse singled, had an RBI single back in the first, and he was hit by a pitch and scored a run back in the third. 1 for 1 in this game. Still on first is the center fielder, Christian Bacon. Brad Miller finds his own for strike 1. Quick throw. Oh, 1's your count. Brad Miller. Ball's fouled. 0-2. So St. Francis travels to Siena Heights on Tuesday, at home against Grace on Wednesday, then travels to Huntington on Friday and Saturday for their series against the Foresters. What a beautiful baseball facility Huntington has, as Dickinson's underneath it for out number 3. Not a bad inning there for Brad Miller. First 2 batters he gave up a hit, but then settled down and got the next 3 batters out. Scoring was Corey Gould on that pickoff attempt that got away from Dickinson. We head to the bottom of the 4th. For St. Francis, it will be Tanner Gaff, Sullivan, and Frymuth. One more time, let's take a look at Noah Frymuth attempting to make the grab. Looks like it went just off the top of his glove. Nearly snow cone that one. Frymuth is listed 6'2", 205.
Leading off the bottom of the 4th for St. Francis. Designated hitter Tanner Gaff.
So Tanner Gaff, who popped out to left field in his first AB, the lefty at the plate. First pitch to Gaff is swung on. Miller, Brandt makes the play. 1 out.
Now batting Keith Sullivan.
Just give me that gray jacket, like the waterproof gray jacket. much harder. Yeah, much harder too.
First pitch is a strike. Sullivan. 1 out. 0-1's your count. Oh, 2. That ball is ripped. Foul. One, 2 now to Keaton Sullivan. Keaton flew out to center field. 2-2 now. That ball gets right under the glove of Stout, the third baseman, Aaron Saul. I believe we can give Keaton a single on that one. That'll bring up Noah Frymuth. Frymuth grounded out to the shortstop in his first at-bat. Frymuth takes the first pitch strike. Oh, 2 is your count. At first base is Keaton Sullivan. Not a large lead at all. Frymuth going to hit that one into left field. Back-to-back hits. That one gets past the right fielder on a bad hop. Bacon picks it up at the track. Frymuth is held at second. Coming home to score is Keaton Sullivan. Wild looking play there. Frymuth now at second. Cougars getting its first run of the game. On the RBI single.
Now batting, Jack Harris.
By Frymuth with an E7. That brings up Jack Harris, who popped out to second baseman Montero in his first AB. First pitch is a strike to Harris. Second pitch is going to be popped up. Montero underneath it calls everybody off for out number 2. Montero, they're calling that a web gem right there. 2 gone. Frymuth at second for David Snyder. Snyder swings at the first pitch. That's going to get all the way to the fence. Snyder ripped that ball. He's in with an RBI double as Noah Frymuth comes home to score. Snyder absolutely belted that ball for the Cougars' second run of the game. That'll bring to the plate Dakota Burke. Burke takes that first pitch for a strike. Second one's drilled into left center field. On it is number 11, Corey Gould, for out number 3. Cougars get 2 runs back, though. Down 5-2 heading into the top of the 5th. Let's take another look there at Rivera. Calling everybody off. Tailing back just a little bit on his seat as he makes the grab. There is the ball that got past the left fielder. That one scored Keaton Sullivan. Let's see what the next one looks like. Here's a rip by David Snyder.
You don't like when I zoom in?
Yeah, I guess once you got it.
Which one are you talking about?
Just get wide, pick him up first, then see what's happening. Drew Ritchie, the catcher, to lead it off here in the top of the 5th inning. MVNU up 5-2. First pitch is a strike by Brett Miller. One your count. Two one. Counts evened up at 2 apiece. Ritchie had a single, and then Mosier came in and scored the run back in the 3rd, and he flew out to left field back in the 1st inning. Swing and a miss. Good looking pitch by Brett Miller, his first strikeout of the game.
Now batting, Carreras.
That brings up Axel Carreras. First pitch to Carreras. Fouled away. 0-1's the count with 1 out. Carreras 0 for 2 in this game. 0 for 1, excuse me. Had a sacrifice back in the 3rd inning. We're evened up at 1 apiece. One and 2 is your count. Two now your count. Back-to-back strikeouts for Brett Miller for out number 2. Brings up Kobe Miller. Reached on an E4 back in the 2nd and an E9 back in the 3rd. The count to Kobe Miller. Swing and a miss. 1-1. Two and one now your count. Brett Miller, 6'3" righty. I believe our count is 1-2. Ooh. Manning thought he had him right there on the breaking ball. As that ball just fell right into the zone. 2-2, check swing. For Kobe Miller, the first baseman. Has been left stranded 2 times in this game on third base. Draws the walk. Looks like I was right with that initial count. 2 outs, runner at first base for Brant Miller. Brant 0 for 2 in this game, ground out and struck out looking.
Now batting Brant Miller.
Oh, 1 your count. Two outs, runner at first base. 0-2 count for Brant Miller. In the top half of the 5th inning. We're scheduled for 9 innings here. Swing and a miss. 3 strikeouts in the inning for Alex Bratmiller. As we head to the bottom of the 5th.
Have a couple scores from around the Crossroads League this afternoon. The 6th inning at Grace. Indiana Wesleyan leads Grace 22-5.
Wow. Indiana Wesleyan's beaten Grace 22-5.
And Huntington in the 4th inning. Huntington leads Spring Arbor 12-1. Our Cougars are slated to be back here on Wednesday afternoon. We'll be playing Grace College. That will be a single 9-inning game that is scheduled to get underway at 3 p.m. here at Cougar Field. Leading off for the Cougars in the bottom of the 5th inning. Number 5, first baseman Jordan Dickinson.
So it'll be Jordan Dickinson, Austin Manning, and Cole Gerardo here in the bottom of the 5th with the Cougs down 5-2. Dickinson grounded out to the shorts. Excuse me, he walked in his first at-bat. First pitch in there for a strike. Dickinson down in this count, 0-2. Ball drilled right at us. And And Christian Bacon with the diving grab for out number 1. That was a nice looking play there by Christian Bacon. That'll bring up Austin Mannon.
Now then, Austin Mannon.
Mannon 0 for 1 in this game. Takes that first pitch for a strike. Oh, 2. Mannon, the catcher, facing Bryce Arledge. This ball's drilled into left. Could that be gone? It is a home run for Austin Mannon. Makes the score 5-3 MVNU. Nice looking jack there by Austin Mannon. So we'll watch that one more time. It's out of here. Mannon getting some congratulations from his teammates. 1 out. Cougs only down by 2 right now after that Austin Mannon solo home run. Cole Gerardo at the plate now. Fouls off the first pitch. Down 0-1 in this count. Two outs now. Tanner Gaff, your batter. 1-0 is your count. Swing and a miss. Two and 1 to Gaff. We're evened up at 2-2. Full count now to Gaff, who's 0 for 2 in this game. Flew out to left field in the first, grounded out to the shortstop back in the fourth. That ball is ripped out of play. Count remains full. Full count to Gaff, and he will draw the walk. That brings up Keaton Sullivan, who singled and scored a run in his last at-bat. First pitch is a strike. Count's evened up at 1 apiece to Mannon. One ball, 2 strikes to Keaton Sullivan. Check that pitch low. 2-2 now your count. Lefty. Sullivan drills this ball right at us. That is going to be caught right in front of the warning track. But the Cougs do get 1 run back after the Austin Mannon home run as we head to the top of the sixth, 5-3 Mount Vernon Naz. Take another look at that Manning home run. Manning turns on it, and it is drilled. No doubt about that ball right there. Went right down the left field line. Man, Manning just went down and drilled that ball. It's Alex Bratmiller. He had 3 strikeouts back in the 5th inning. This is his 3rd inning in this game. Bratmiller listed at 6'3", 205. He'll face off Corey Gould, the leadoff batter. Gould, 2 for 3 with 2 runs scored. Pitch misses upstairs for ball 1. Two balls, 0 strikes for Corey Gould. Huntington University is receiving votes in the NAIA Coaches Top 25. They are slotted in the 32nd spot. 2 balls, 1 strike. Breaking ball falls in there, 2-2. Dakota Burke hugging the line there in right field. Frymuth straight up in center field, so there's a large gap in right center field. Full count to Corey Gould. Bratmiller's pitch, breaking ball hung up there, fouled into the Cougar dugout. I think one of the players got hit, was acting like he was hurt, but I believe he's okay. Somebody in the dugout wearing number 72, Carlton Fisk number. Fisk wore 27 with the Boston Red Sox, then went over to the White Sox, and 27 was available, so he wore 72. Gould, top of the 6th, leads off with a walk. Your batter is Christian Bacon, 1 for 2 in this game with a walk. Bacon can't put the bunt down. Down in this count, 0-1. Bratmiller, quick throw over to first. Gould got back easily. No outs here in the top of the 6th. Another quick throw. Manning's going to come out and talk with Bratmiller. We got a way of keeping Gould closer at first base. That's Jordan Dickinson holding him on. Brett Miller entering today just 9 innings pitched under his belt. But he basically has the best ERA on the team. Gave up 1 run there in the 4th. As the bunt's down, Sullivan's going to have to go to first base with it. Running all the way to third. Nobody was covering third base. Gould with some heads-up base running. As Bacon is out. So 1 out here. Runner at third. Little fielding blunder there by the Cougars. No one covering third base. As Keaton Sullivan had to charge in on the bunt attempt. Gould recognized it right away as he rounded second and went straight into third. That brings up Aaron Saul, who's 1 for 3 in this game with a single and a run scored back in the first. That pitch is low and inside for ball 1. He had an RBI single back in the first. We've seen that a little bit from St. Francis here in this series. This ball's drilled into center. Frymuth going back as that's going to hit the bottom of the fence. Coming home to score will be Corey Gould on the stand-up RBI double by Aaron Saul. Saul, who had the home run yesterday, showing off some power here in this series. Saul is listed at 6 foot 195 from Wooster, Ohio. Curtis Williamson is also from Wooster, Ohio. But boy, did he drill that ball. Nothing Noah Frymuth could do about that one. Your batter is Jaime Montero. Jaime's 0 for 2 in this game with a walk in the first inning. Beautiful pitch right down the pipe for strike 1. Mount Vernon As with 1 run on 1 hit in this inning. Brett Miller up in the count, 0-2. Brett Miller, the righty. Montero pops this one up into left center field. Jack Harris, the freshman, underneath it for out number 2. That brings up to the plate Jesse Stout. Stout had an RBI single back in the first, walked and scored a run. Got hit by a pitch and scored a run back in the third, and popped out to the first baseman Dickinson back in the 4th. 1 for 2 in this game. 2 outs, runner at second base. Breaking ball misses outside for ball 1. Brett Miller, this is the second time he's faced out in this game. That breaking ball falls in. Counts evened up at 1 apiece. One, 2 now the count. MVNU up 6-3. Scored 2 runs in the first, 2 runs in the third, 1 in the fourth, and 1 here in the 6th. Cougars got the bats going just a little bit last inning. That's going to be a ball. 2-2's your count. Austin Manning with the big home run. It was actually back in the 4th inning when Keaton Sullivan and Noah Frymuth had back-to-back singles. Then a double by David Snyder to knock in Frymuth. Oh, drilled to left field, and that is gone. No doubt about it. If it's fair, that's a foul ball.
Foul ball.
Oh, he called that fair. Boy, did that look foul from over here. 2-run slam for Jesse Stout. That scores Saul. So 8-3 now the lead. There's just, I'm thinking there's no way that ball was fair. Nonetheless, 5-point advantage now for Mount Vernon Naz. Your batter's Drew Ritchie. As the bases are cleared with 2 outs. We've seen some big hits in this game. Mannon with a jack. Stout with the jack. Saul nailing it all the way to the bottom of the fence here in center field. Yeah, well, David Snyder had the big rip there in the 4th. Ritchie fouls off the first. 0-1's the count. He went around for the strike. Tried to hold it back. 0-2's the count now to Drew Ritchie. Brett Miller out of the windup, just a little bit low. The freshman Brett Miller giving up a home run, a double in this inning, and 3 runs. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. It's another one fouled out of play. Swing and a miss. Brett Miller picks up his 4th strikeout of the game as we head to the bottom of the 6th with the Cougars down 8-3. Bottom of 6, Noah Frymuth, Jack Harris, and David Snyder. Still pitching, Bryce Arledge. Arledge gave up his first hit in the 4th inning. That was a single to Sullivan. Gave up 3 hits in that inning.
Leading off for St. Francis at the bottom of the 6th inning.
Gave up the home run. So Arledge has only given up 4 hits in this game. Frymuth at the plate. First pitch to Noah. He's got a little leg kick as well. 0-1 your count. Another one fouled off, 0-2. Oh, 2 pitch to Frymuth in the dirt. Ball 1. This ball is drilled into center. Bacon is on it for out number 1. That'll bring up the freshman Jack Harris, who's 0 for 2 in this game with 2 pop-outs to the second baseman, Jaime Montero. First pitch is taken inside for strike 1. Cougars with 4 hits in this game. St. Francis, that is. Counts evened up at 1 apiece. Harris doing a good job here in left field during this series. Solid outfielder for Coach Roberts. Down in this count, 0-2. Ooh, another one in the dugout. Swing and a miss. For Arledge, that is just his second strikeout of the game. Brings up David Snyder. Started off this game getting Cole Gerardo looking. Since then, that's just his second strikeout there, and we're in the 6th. Snyder's going to take that first pitch for a ball. He had the RBI double back in the 4th. Grounded out to the shortstop back in the 2nd. 1 for 2 in this game. Second pitch is drilled into right. Easy catch for Jesse Stout for out number 3. We head to the top of the 7th inning. Mount Vernon Naz up 8-3. So MVNU with 8 runs on 9 hits and 1 error. St. Francis with 3 runs on 4 hits and 3 errors. New pitcher. Brett Miller got 3 innings in after Chandler Rivera got 3 innings. The new pitcher is number 49, Charlie Betts. He's a freshman from Lake Village, Indiana, North Newton High School, stands 6 foot 178. Betts enters today with a 4.5 ERA, a 1-0 record. He's played in 6 games, started 1. He's got 16 innings pitched, given up 10 runs, 8 of those earned, and 19 hits. 7 strikeouts and 5 walks. Opposing batters are hitting .279 against Charlie Betts. His team down 8-3. First pitch is up and in against Axel Carreras for ball one. Second pitch is a chopper to Snyder, who makes the play.
Now batting
One out. Your batter is Kobe Miller, the first baseman. See if we can't have a 1-2-3 inning here by Charlie Betts. Cougars have yet to go 1-2-3 in this game. First pitch upstairs for ball one. Nice looking pitch. Counts evened up at one apiece. Two now your count to Miller. Full count with one out. Scoreboard shows a 2-2 count. Breaking ball, fouled off. Another one fouled. Ball ripped right back at Betts for out number two. Good play there by Charlie. Brings up Brant Miller.
Now batting Brant Miller.
Brant is 0 for 3 in this game with 2 strikeouts. Grounded out to Snyder as well. Ball hit into left field. Harris underneath it for out number 3. So Charlie Betts comes into the game, the first 1-2-3 inning of the game for St. Francis. So we head to the bottom of the 7th. Cougars down 8-3.
Final score at Grace. Indiana Wesleyan 27, Grace 5.
I didn't hear that final part.
Spring Arbor now leads, check that, Huntington now leads Spring Arbor 19-1.
Huntington's up 19-1 over Spring Arbor. Spring Arbor used to be one of the top teams in the Crossroads League. Right now they're 9-14 overall.
Score is tied 0-0 in the first inning.
2-2 in conference play. Your batter is Dakota Burke, 0 for 2 in this game. He leads off the bottom of the 7th for St. Francis, down 8-3.
Dakota Burke.
First pitch to Burke. This is high and outside for ball one. 2 arms loosening up in the bullpen for St. Francis. So counts evened up at 1 apiece. Number 6, Kyle Bowling, infielder from, number 6, Eric DeBrenz. Ball hit to center field for out, number 1. Brings the plate Jordan Dickinson, who is 0 for 1 in this game. First pitch misses high and outside. Bryce Arledge going the distance so far for MVNU. Second pitch is a strike. One your count with 1 out. Beautiful looking pitch, falls in for strike 2. That ball's hit right at third baseman, bobbles it for a second. Throw is wild. So Dickinson will reach on the E5. That's Saul over there at third base.
Now batting Austin Mannon.
That'll bring to the play Austin Mannon. He had a home run in his last at-bat. Just the second error of the game for MVNU. Mannon's going to foul off that first pitch. For Austin Mannon, that was his 3rd home run of the season. Just 2 home runs behind Keaton Sullivan for a team high. 1-1 your count. Big cut, 1-2. Now to Mannon. Ball right off the handle, it looked like. Montero flips it over to Miller. They get the double play. Wow, nice looking play there for MVNU as we head to the top of the 8th. 8-3. Let's take another look at that play right there. Ball looked like it hit right off the handle, not a whole lot to it. That's Mannon at the plate.
Now pitching for St. Francis, number 6, Eric Dobbins.
Right off the handle. Montero gets it, flips it back over to Miller, who turns 2.
Charlie Betts.
Here in the top of the 8th inning, it's going to be Corey Gould, Bacon, and Saul. Gould in this game is 2 for 3 with 3 runs scored. He walked back in the 6th inning and has a stolen base. On the mound now, it's number 6. So Charlie Betts just pitched the 1 inning where he went 1-2-3. Your new pitcher is Eric DeBrenz. DeBrenz, an 8.56 ERA, 0-1 record in 8 games played, 13.2 innings pitched, 17 runs, 13 of those earned, 22 hits given up, 10 strikeouts, 7 walks. .306 is your time here. Game started at 1 p.m. 2 hours, 5 minutes into this game. Temperature is 63 degrees and cloudy. Says the rain's going to start at 3:15. I don't think that's going to happen.
Leading off for Mount Vernon Nazareth, top of the 8th inning. Gould.
The 5th AB in this game for Gould. First pitch by DeBrenz. Ball in the dirt. 1-0 is your count. Counts evened up at 1 apiece. Two balls, 1 strike to Corey Gould. Gould, a senior left fielder for MVNU. Counts evened up at 2 apiece. Ball hit in the left field. Harris chasing after it. Count remains at 2-2. Pitch misses low and inside. We got a full count to Corey Gould. Draws the walk.
Now batting, Bacon.
Brings the plate, Christian Bacon. Gould at first. Bunt's laid down as Sullivan makes the play. Mannon covering third. One out for Aaron Saul. Gould now at second base in scoring position. Saul can definitely swing it.
Now batting, Saul.
He had an RBI single and scored a run back in the first inning, a double and scored a run back in the sixth. He's 2 for 4 in this game. Pitch catches the inside corner for strike 1. That ball hit into left field. Harris comes up firing. That's going to keep Gould at third. So runners at the corners here for Jaime Montero. Jaime looking for his first hit of the game. He's 0 for 3.
Now batting, Montero.
One out here in the top of the 8th. Montero does not have a home run on the season. That first pitch is a ball. Runner is off, and the throw bounces over David Snyder. So a stolen base by Saul is going to score Corey Gould. 9-3 is now your score, with Saul at third base. 1-1 is your count. Two balls, one strike. That one misses upstairs. DeBrenz. So Montero draws the walk. Once again, we have runners at the corners with one out for Jesse Stout. Stout had that home run back in the 6th. Looked like it was foul, but was called fair. There is no way I'd be able to tell from my location whether that was fair or foul, but it definitely looked fair or foul. Coach Roberts had a good look at it. He thought it was foul. Nobody had a better look than the umpire, though. And he called it fair. 9-3 is your score. First pitch is going to miss inside. 1-0 is the count to Stout. Runners at the corners with just one out. Charlie Betts got in for an inning. Sat down the side, but he did not come out here in the 8th. This has been DeBren's inning. 2-0 is the count. How about Indiana Wesleyan putting up 27 runs in their first game? And they finished their game before us because of the mercy rule, I imagine. That ball is ripped. The runner was going. 2-1's the count. Two now the count. Good looking pitch there by DeBrenz. That ball is turned on Harris. It's going to drop right in front of him. Coming home to score will be Aaron Saul on the RBI single by Jesse Stout. We have runners at first and second now as MVNU picks up run number 10. Home run here would give Mount Vernon Naz a 10-run lead. It's Drew Ritchie. He had a single and scored a run. Well, he didn't score. Mosier, his courtesy runner, scored. Nonetheless, he's 1 for 4 in this game. Is Ritchie? First pitch, hit foul. Still just one out here in the top of the 8th. This count's evened up at 1 apiece to Ritchie. Ball drilled into left field. They will wave home Jaime Montero on the RBI single by Ritchie. (11-3) now your score. Your batter is Axel Carreras. Axel's 0 for 3 in this game with a sacrifice. Takes that first one for a strike. Runners at first and second. Counts evened up at 1 apiece on the check. Ball in the dirt, good block there by Mannon. 2-1, now your count to Axel. Warming up in the bullpen for St. Francis is number 31, Matt Baker, freshman from Adams Central High School out of Monroe, Indiana. Ball popped up. Man, he hit that one high. Harris trying to get underneath it. Has to. Wow, what a catch by Jack Harris. Holy cow. Jack Harris had to run around his teammates over there in the bullpen. But both runners are going to advance. That's not good. What a catch by Jack Harris. I'm going to have to look at that one again. That's the second out of the inning. Harris had to navigate his way through the bullpen. Your batter now is Kobe Miller. That pitch misses outside. Ball 1. Two-0. We've got a 2-1 count here to Kobe. Catches the outside corner. We're evened up at 2s. Full count to Kobe Miller. Brant Miller, his brother, on base or on deck. He draws the walk. Bases are loaded. Brant Miller's 0 for 4 in this game with 2 strikeouts. It's the third walk of the inning for Eric Dobrenz. First pitch upstairs for a ball. Timeout's called by Mannon. Eleven to 3 is your score. Bases loaded to Brant Miller. Fouls off that first pitch. This is the 9th batter of the inning. Excuse me, it counts 1-1 to Miller. This ball is ripped into left. That will fall in front of Harris. 1 run will score. They wave the second run around. Play at the plate. And he is out. So an RBI single there by Brant Miller. Scores Jesse Stout. But on the 5-2, Drew Ritchie gets thrown out at home. 12-3 is your score. We head to the bottom of the 8th with the Cougs down by 9. St. Francis will bring to the plate Cole Gerardo, Tanner Gaff, and Keaton Sullivan. Rally time here for the Cougs, down 12-3. Let's take a look at that Jack Harris catch. Boom. Pitch is fouled off. It's going to go over there in the Cougar bullpen. Harris asks his teammates to get out of the way and makes the grab before he runs into the tarp. Jack Harris, outstanding play.
Now batting Cole Gerardo.
First pitch to Gerardo in there. One and one's your count. Two one. Ooh, big cut there by Cole. 2-2 is your count. Cole Gerardo 0 for 2 in this game. New arm warming up in the pen for MVNU. Looks to be number 30, Alex Dayer, a lefty from Wooster, Ohio, Triway High School. Gets him looking for out number one. That'll bring up Tanner Gaff. Gaff, the lefty, 0 for 2 in this game with a walk. Fouled out of play. Oh, 2 the count. Ball nearly backhanded by the pitcher. That's a single for Gaff. One out, runner at first base for Keaton Sullivan. See if Keaton can't come up with a home run here. Get some excitement going here at Cougar Field. St. Francis currently down 12-3. There's definitely a lack there of some excitement right now. We do have Gaff at first base. Keaton takes that first one for a strike. You can see Keaton Sullivan at a lot of the football games, getting the ball and getting them over to the refs. Down the count 0-2, so big football fan is Keaton Sullivan.
Say so.
Another one fouled off. Count remains at 0-2 with one out. Bottom of the 8th. So Sullivan goes down looking for out number 2. Just the 4th strikeout of the game for Arledge. 2nd strikeout of the inning. Frymuth caught looking for his first strike. Fouled out of play, strike 2. Arledge had a word for the umpire there. Up in this count 0-2. The lefty. Frymuth drills this ball into center. Good piece of hitting by Noah Frymuth. That advances Gaff to second base. Noah's now 2 for 4 in this game. Had an RBI single back in the 4th. Brings up Jack Harris, who's 0 for 3. Harris takes that first pitch for a strike. Harris drills this ball into center. They're going to wave home Gaff to score. Frymuth over to third for an RBI single by Jack Baker. Good work by Jack. That'll bring up David Snyder. First pitch is low for a ball. One 0 pitch with 2 outs, runners at the corners. In there for a strike. One's your count. As that ball is hit right at Jaime Montero for out number 3. Cougs get 1 run back as we head to the top of the 9th. So here in the top of the 9th inning, it will be, I'm not sure where we left off. MVNU batted around the order there in the 8th inning. Number 31's pitching. Third pitcher in 3 innings for St. Francis. This is Matt Baker. Baker, a 6.52 ERA, 2-3 record, 8 games played, 9.2 innings pitched, giving up 8 runs, 7 earned, and 16 hits. Has 9 strikeouts, just 5 walks. First batter is Corey Gould. First pitch is a ball to Gould. Second pitch is upstairs. 2-0's the count. 2-1. Ball hit into right field. Leadoff single by Gould. He's got 3 hits in this game. He's 3 for 4. Brings up Bacon. Ball 1. Bacon is 1 for 4 with a walk. Big cut. We're evened up at 1 apiece. The pitch will miss upstairs. 2-1 the count. For the pitcher, Matt Baker. Baker, the freshman from Adams Central. Kyle Baker also on the team. "3-1 is your count. Runners off. Full count to Christian Bacon, starting center fielder here for Mount Vernon Az. That ball will fall for a foul ball. Count remains full with 0 outs to Christian Bacon. Strong hit to Sullivan. Keaton regroups in time to make the play. One out for Aaron Saul. Saul, 3 for 5 in this game at the plate. He's had some big rips. Ball gets past Mannon. Now at third base. Is Corey Gould. Gould's looking for his 5th run of the game. Padding his run scored on the season. Ball's fouled away. 1-1's your count. Ball's hit. Sullivan with the backhand for out number 2. Brings up Jaime Montero.
I'm adding Montero.
First pitch to Montero. Swung on and popped up into center field. Frymuth underneath it for out number 3. We head to the bottom of the 9th, 12-4, MVNU. Cougars need an 8th spot here. Right after this.
Now pitching for Mount Vernon Nazarene in place of starter Bryce Aldridge, who went 8 innings. Number 30, Alex Dyer.
So into the game for MVNU is number 30, Alex Dyer, sophomore.
7, Tyler Connors now behind the plate.
Arledge going 8 innings.
Connors replacing Rich. Heading into the bottom of the 9th inning.
New catcher as well, in for Richie. Did not catch his name.
Leading off for St. Francis in the bottom of the 9th inning. Dakota Burke.
Dakota Burke to lead it off for St. Francis. Alex Dyer has only pitched 3 innings this year and has only given up 4 hits and 0 runs. Just 3 innings pitched for Dyer, the lefty, out of the stretch. First pitch is the ball. It's very chilly out. Sun has not been out all game long. Second pitch misses upstairs, 2-0. Three oh is your count. So Dyer comes in with 4 straight pitches. Walks Dakota Burke, who entered that at bat 0 for 3 on the day. Now it's Jordan Dickinson, who's 0 for 2. That's the 5th straight ball for Dyer. There's his first strike. Counts evened up at 1 apiece to Jordan Dickinson. Catches the inside corner. 1-2 is the count. Counts evened up at 2 apiece. That ball is ripped right off Miller's chest and cannot get it over to Montero in time. Single by Dickinson. We have runners at first and second with 0 outs for Austin Mannon, who's already got a home run in this game. Could pull the Cougars within 5 here, which is one swing of the bat. Dare with runners at first and second, 0 outs, facing Mannon. Austin will take that first pitch for a strike. Mannon, a senior for the Cougs, standing 5'11", 225 pounds. High and outside, counts evened up at 1 apiece. Fouled off. 1-2 now your count. To Austin Mannon. It's Alex Dyer on the mound. Ball drilled into left center field. Making the grab is number 11, Gould, for out number 1. Runners will stay at first and second. Brings up Cole Gerardo, leadoff batter.
Cole Gerardo.
Runners at first and second for Gerardo, who takes that first pitch for a strike. Cole 0 for 3 in this game. Big cut. 0-2 the count with 1 out. Gets him looking for out number 2. That'll bring up Tanner Gaff. Scored the Cougs' last run on the RBI single by Jack Harris. Gaff 1 for 3 in this game with a single and a walk. First pitch is a swing and a miss. Runners at first and second. That's Dakota Burke. Jordan Dickinson on the base pass. That pitch will miss low and outside. Counts evened up at 1-1. Swing and a miss. 1-2 is your count with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 9th. Cougs trail at 12-4. Breaking ball, fouled out of play. Count will remain at 1-2. check swing on the pitch low and outside. Ump calls him safe. 2-2 now your count. It's Tanner Gaff with the 2-2 count and 2 outs. Swing and a miss. So that will do it. Mount Vernon Naz wins 12-4 over your University of St. Francis Cougars. They'll sweep the series, winning Game 1 5-9, Game 2 10-0, and Game number 3 here 12-4. Folks, thanks so much for joining us. My name is Jeff Mahoney. On the camera was Alex Woods. Have a great weekend. Oh my gosh. What the